Hello there. An alchemist is generally regarded to be someone who transforms base metals into gold. And it gives us this picture of some old dude with a white beard in some dark, crusty room with retorts and other devices. And naturally, alchemy is about you and me. And to put it into simple language, it's actually about transforming shit into gold. And this is one of the things that we're all doing as human beings. We're all transforming to shit into gold. And some of us do it unconsciously and some of us do it consciously. So my story is people asking me how I'm feeling. Don't know about you, but sometimes I hate that question. So I thought, sod it, rather than just feeling like I hate that question, let's answer it. So that's what I'm doing. So how I'm feeling is this. I'm in the middle of my own personal alchemy journey at the moment. I'm transforming my shit into gold. And the particular thing that I'm doing is I'm working with a particular emotion. So shit I will define as all heavy negative emotions. And what a lot of people do is they go, la 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 la, I don't have any negative heavy emotions. I am fine. Everything's fine, everything's peachy, everything's wonderful. And there comes a time when that just won't do anymore. And it's an inevitable part of the shamanic path, is to become relentlessly honest with ourselves. So that's what I'm doing now. So I've had a series of events, and this is all because my primary PTSD trauma stuff goes back to relatively early childhood. And that means that I'm one of these people that has erected some really fantastic defense mechanisms. And these defense mechanisms are to prevent me from doing what it is I am very determined to do, which is to transform my shit into gold. So that's what's going on for me. So because of the severity of the childhood stuff, I've got all these defense mechanisms in place and they're blocking me from doing the very thing that I am determined to do. So what then happens is you get into what I call a relationship with the universe. And here's one of my aphorisms for you. Here it goes. You can't argue with the universe. When something's going to be shifted, you might as well go along with it. So that's what I'm doing. So the universe has choreographed a series of events for me. And one of them is the breakup of the relationship I've been in for almost 6 years. And that's a really big one. However, that wasn't enough. I needed something more. So I've been focusing my energies on acquiring land to create a nature's medicine retreat centre, an actual purpose-built designated centre for hosting the retreats, which is the thing I love to do. And only a few days ago I came to the end of the line on that one with a lot of exploration, a lot of research, a lot of good places. Very grateful for the help I received in finding these places, and auction bidding, and it's no. 40,000 asking price, sells for 97,000. It's that kind of a story. So there's another one. So grief of the end of the relationship, grief at what seemed at that time, and still to me at the moment subjectively seemed like the end of the road on that one. So then here comes the next one, and it's such a relatively small event. So I'm simply watching Netflix, using my shamanic divinatory powers to attract to me the very program that's going to have its effect on me, which I succeeded in doing. And it's about a school in Korea and teachers. And there are two teachers, and they leave the school. One leaves the school because they've worked for more than 30 years and they retired and all that. And they get celebrated, there's a special assembly, they get appreciated, people clap. Gifts are given and received, it's all very beautiful. The other teacher simply doesn't get selected for a permanent place. And he's been trying for 6 years to get a permanent place in this school, and after 6 years and it's not happening, and he ends up walking out the door with his box in his hand, no one's saying jack shit to him, and you can just, well, whenever I watch any TV, Netflix or wherever, I'm always empathising with the people. So I went into deep empathy with this guy and how it must feel to have put all that energy in there and to be walking away without a word being said with a cardboard box in his hand, and that was the one that did it. The other more significant major events just weren't enough, but this one smashed right through the last of my defences. And so I forget whether it's day 2 or day 3, but for the last couple of days or so I have been plunged into grief, and this is an emotion which I have not fully felt. I've had lots of experiences of grief, loads and loads and loads of them, and yet somehow this relatively not such a severe event happening to someone else was enough to trigger me fully. And so I'm going through what I would call, it's rather the same as when people work with the plant medicines. The plant medicines come in waves, and so do these really deep emotions. They come in waves. So that's what's going on for me at the moment. These emotions are coming in waves, and it is grief. That is a primary thing. I wasn't able to feel grief before properly, and I learned that when I was having some help with my childhood trauma stuff with the PTSD, and what that revealed to me very clearly is that sorry, I just got to take a moment here, and it was my therapist that made it clear to me. She said, what it is, you've not been able to feel grief because you've experienced so much shame about the childhood stuff. And so finally, I'm feeling all the grief that I wasn't properly able to feel before. And it's literally in waves, and it's going back through the time stream from the most recent events of no land for the retreat centre, no end of relationship, and then having the trigger of the guy walking out with this cardboard box, bye-bye to 6 years of his life, all his hard work, and then it's just rattling back through the years, all the way through different events. My mother's dying in death, my father's dying in death, my sister's son unexpected death, my wife's death, and then other things, not just death but other things too. And going back, ends of other relationships, all sorts of them, and each one that hits, well, one of the things I've loved to do, I particularly love to do this in northwest Spain. There was a particular seaside resort called Ratho, and when I was out there for 2.5 months, I'd go every day to Ratho, swimming things on. I'd go into the sea and I'd allow the waves to pummel me, just pound me, just blast me, and it's a really great way to cleanse yourself from physical toxins, and emotional ones too come to that. So that's really how I'm feeling. I'm feeling like it doesn't matter what I'm doing in my day-to-day life, things seem quite calm, but actually inside, what no one can see is another wave hits. Oh bang, yeah, when that happens. Oh yeah, when you got thrown out of university because you occupied the arts block and boycotted your exams. Oh yeah, when this happened, when that happened. All the way back, right back to the childish stuff. And what I want to say is, transforming shit into gold is what it is. And what I'm learning to do is to love and accept this journey for what it is. And there are times it is extraordinarily painful. And I found something really helpful, and that's what's encouraged me to make this film. If you're in a process where you're transforming your shit into your gold, what I suggest you do is as follows. Make sounds. You can imagine what it's like. I'm in the end of a relationship with the person who I thought of as my partner until very recently, and we're still living in the same home. It would just be so easy to get into arguments and bickering, and you said this and you said that, and by and large we're not doing that, and I'm very grateful for that fact, because it means that I can put my energy not into words but into sounds. And this is what I'm doing. Every day I'm making sounds, and no more loudly and clearly than when I get in the bath. And everyone knows I love an Epsom salts bath. Well, Epsom salts bath, close the door, get in the bath, feel the heat, and then just start to make sounds. And that's what I've been doing. So I've had a really good blast this morning of making loads and loads of sounds, and I found that so therapeutic. And I know from my own research as a shaman working with sound that the sounds we make are actually the sounds we need for healing. It really is that simple. You just get playful, you just piss about and make random sounds, and you don't give a shit what they sound like or what other people think. You just play with it. And this is what I've been doing, and the more I'm doing this, the more I'm hitting the right notes, literally hitting the right notes, and that is causing me to release and release and release and release so much grief that has been stored for so many years. And this is one of the reasons I know the next retreat I'm going to be hosting is coming up soon, less than 3 weeks time now. It's going to be extraordinary, and I know it's going to be extraordinary far more so than any of the others, because I am being prepared, I'm being cleansed, I'm literally having my shit transformed into gold. So that's my journey, that's where I'm on. And yes, it is horrifically painful at times, and yes, what I learn about pain is you feel it, love it, loving what is. Good old Byron Katie, loving what is, that's the thing. End of relationship, loving what is. Death of a dream, loving what is. Whatever it may be, loving what is, knowing there's a deeper meaning, a bigger picture, which I might not at the time be able to understand. It's all working, and that's why I want to say a special thanks to somebody called Tabs for conveying to me the phrase, it's all good. And it is all good. The shit's good, the horror's good, the nightmare's good, the PTSD's good, it's all good, because it's all what we're here to do. And I do want to give a really big shout out and a big thanks to this tree which I'm standing beneath, and it's a horse-chestnut tree, and it's in the process of producing its flowers, which are also known as candles. There they are, and they haven't come out yet, but they'll either be pink or white, and absolutely beautiful. And I'm very grateful to be able to share this with you on this beautiful blue sky, green leaf spring day. All the love to you. And here's my question to you. How are you? How are you doing? How are you feeling? What's going on for you? And if you feel like me, that you would like to share, then I'd love to hear from you. So please do post a comment. If there's something you'd like to share about how you're feeling or what's happening for you, I'd love to hear from you. Thank you very much. And let me just close with this shot of these trunks of these 4 oak trees. 4 horse chestnut trees. There they are. All the love to you.